welcome everyone.
We are live. Life is better with you. Hey everyone, this is exciting. Welcome to the Freedom-Preneur Show, where entrepreneurs come, learn, and grow. And I know I butchered that right now, as I was just sending out the email, and I'm in Bali. If you guys don't know where I'm at, I'm in the Queen's chair right now, which is Rhonda's. I've actually dressed up all nicely here. We're doing the Freedom-Preneur Show a little differently because usually you get to hear the unstoppable mama taking the controls and sharing the love, interviewing people from all around the world that are significant in the marketing world or just doing great things. And today I am in what we call the big chair. I've dressed up, and I am interviewing Rhonda Swan, the unstoppable mama, who's actually out in Manila, the Philippines. And before we bring this special guest out, I would like to show you guys, if you're listening to the podcast, you can't see all the visuals, but if you're not and you're watching this live, here's the visuals. Every single week, Rhonda always shows these are daily rituals, and we're actually going to be speaking about this on today's call, daily rituals. Even though Rhonda is gone, I always take this mug. It's actually been wiped off, so it's not looking the most prettiest right now, but every single morning, one of my rituals is I paint up her coffee mug and make it look very nice. I also give her flowers every single day. I actually walk outside in the dark and give her flowers every single day and write her a little note. So let me start off. Honey, do you mind if I read you your little note to start off this call? And I did this because this is my little ritual. So good morning, my love. Just because you're not physically here and home with us doesn't mean that I shouldn't be writing out my morning message to you, nor painting your coffee mug or decorating it with flowers. So I'm taking this picture and I'm going to share it with you. Even though you're in the Philippines, I want to share my love with you, and I look forward to seeing you home soon. So that's my little love thing I do every single day. And so this is exciting. It was funny because I was like, I'm taking the Freedom-Preneur Show. I'm like, why don't I interview my wife, my love? And we got a lot of good things that we want to talk about. So, honey, how are you doing? You're looking all dazzling.
Why, thank you. Good morning, everyone. What a very special call today that I get to be interviewed from my office with my coffee mug being sipped on. I know it's like the morning rituals that we have are actually rather powerful. I know that, Brian, you've been working a lot about rituals, but it was really cool this morning. Brian says, hey, what if I interviewed you today? And I thought, well, wow, how cool is that to be interviewed on your own show from your husband, watching how I look. I'm like, wow, I guess the office does look kind of cool, my little show background. I think my picture looks crooked. Maybe you're crooked, honey. But anyways, it's really great to be on the show all the way from Manila, and yeah, just to be sharing what's going on. There's a lot of fun stuff happening right now.
Hey, honey, and just before we go forward, I want to just make sure it says live, but underneath it says start broadcast. Are we good to go?
Yeah, we're live. We are live.
Nice. So let me start off with this. This is, for all of you guys that don't know who we are the Unstoppable family. Rhonda's the Unstoppable Mama. I'm the Unstoppable Surfer. We've actually been in the online world for about 11 years, and we've been traveling for the last 8 years. And I tell you, it's been quite a journey. Rhonda, you've actually been all around the world here as of lately. But let's get into some things that are near and dear. We were talking about daily rituals, and I want to ask you a few questions because you did a post today. And it was interesting that when you did the post today, it was right after I got done writing my morning ritual. And even though you weren't there, it didn't matter. I'm like, I have to do my morning rituals so I know that I'm in sync. And then you posted the thing on Facebook, and isn't it so funny? Like in this world, we communicate sometimes first through the internet, and then we talk afterwards. But she said, this is what I look at every single day. And it was if anybody knows the book, The 4 Agreements, it's now been updated to the 5th agreement. And she says, you have your list, being impeccable with your word, not taking offense by anyone, and you can go through all 4 agreements. But you said that, and then I just got done writing that, and it was a very cool thing to where, we're both, you're waking up and you're doing your morning routine. Share with me a little bit more, honey, if you don't mind, on the 5 agreements, and then also how we install that with our daughter as well.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, for the last 11 years, Brian and I, of course, have really started tapping deeply into personal development. And it occurred, basically out of need. I was in like a really crazy transition point in my life in corporate. And it's really interesting because, Brian and I never really quite share this, but the reason why we started to make changes in our life and why I think our business grew so rapidly and so strong is because I really got focused on what was really important in my life, and that was 11 years ago when I was in corporate and I was looking, I was in search of. I felt that we were a bit hollow, don't you think, honey? We were kind of hollow. Here we are, living in a several $1 million home or nearly $1.5 million home, our very first big label $1 million home, and we both had corporate jobs, and we still felt unfulfilled. We bought this big 5-bedroom house so that we could build a family, and we were still sleepwalking through life. We were going in the hallway, passing each other in the morning, going to our offices, and then going to work. And I was in search. I was in search for a different way of thinking, and so I really started tapping into personal development. And I remember the day that I actually picked up the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was in a Kinko's. I don't even know if they have Kinko's anymore. It was a Kinko's print shop because I had to print something up for my company for a meeting, and I grabbed Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I remember them really talking about changing your mindset, the way you think about what's happening in your life, the way you do things. And if you haven't read Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, I 100% recommend it. And I started to think differently. And I don't remember, Brian, you probably remember, there was a lot of changes happening in me as I started to dive into personal development, and it became a bit scary for you. I think this is a cool topic for our followers, our listeners to hear. When you do start to make changes, what happens with your spouse? Why don't you share that, and we'll continue down this road of what personal development has done and how it allowed us to build multiple 7-figure businesses, travel the world for 8 years, raising a beautiful, amazing child, and still build our businesses and open up new businesses, do new adventures, but it's all based on this one principle. Share a bit about that, Brian, because I think it's important that people hear what it was like for you.
It kind of brings goosebumps to me because the first time you actually brought something up, like when you brought this up, we were actually in Bali, Indonesia, way back. This was about probably 13 years ago, but back in early 2000s, and you were saying that you wanted to make a change, you wanted to do something different, you were searching, there's got to be something higher. And we just got done with and this was a turning point for us because this is where you tore your hamstring. And if you guys don't know, this is where Rhonda, we went to the Metawise on a surfing trip with the boys, and we flew all the way from San Diego over, and she tore her hamstring off of her bone. She was like, for the last 2 days she couldn't surf. And this really changed her life and our lives forever. And I remember we were in Kuta, we came from Bali for like 3 days, and I thought, hey, these are our last few days, let's just party and have fun. And I remember at dinner you were saying, there's got to be something else. There's got to be something more. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We both have 6-figure jobs. We're living the dream lifestyle. We have 2 cars. We're going to have kids sometime in the near future. I said, this is as good as it gets. And she goes, and you looked at me, you're like, no, there has to be something more. And I was very perplexed on it. And through that, I remember that's where you started shifting your mind, reading audiobooks, and you kept on, hey, Nate, why don't you listen to this? And I'm like, yeah. And it kept on going, and it happened to a point to where the turning point, I don't know if I should segment into the day that you said to me right before we were heading out to work, you're like, I want to have kids and not put our kids in daycare, because that was like the next point to where it was the big shift for us.
Yeah, big time, because it was powerful. I remember, we were on that trip, and because I was injured, I was just a bit more mindful, and I was reading the book Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking, and it got Brian a little bit tripped out because he's like, whoa, what's going on? Are you, going all crazy Scientology and no offense to any of these, organizations, but he's like, what's happening? You're all of a sudden, we're hanging out on a surfing trip with the boys, and you're thinking about life and change, and I was like 25 at the time, but that's really when the shift started to happen, when I just started to really think different, and that was the day where I said, look, I want to make a change here, because I was learning the principles that were about choice, right? That life doesn't have to be what we've been dealt. And I think a lot of people live in that story that what they've grown up with, what they're living now, is as good as it's going to get. Here I am, I've got this job, and I'm, I've got a family, I've got a job, and that's what I do every day. This is now what I do. And I wasn't accepting that. I wasn't accepting that that is what I had to do, because, my gosh, I'm 25 years old. Here we are. I want more. I want to be bigger. And growing up as an athlete, I learned so much about peak performance and peak mindsets. And I felt like I was digressing, And so that was the shift point for us, is when I said, no, I'm making a change. And Brian, we freaked out. I said, found this company online, because I wanted to dig deeply into the online world. In fact, this was really cool. Last night, I met this dude, this older guy.
I'm going to get the battery charger. I'll be right back, but I don't want my computer to die.
All right. So I met this guy last night upstairs here. I'm in Manila. I'm in the Philippines. I've had some medical procedures done, and I also was able to meet our incredible team that lives here. And he was asking, what I did, because he's a police officer. And I said, yeah, we work online. I started leveraging the digital economy back in 2000 well, goodness knows, in 1998, when the internet really just kind of kicked off. YouTube, Facebook, you'd never have the opportunity to do this, right? Running a live Google Hangout. This stuff wasn't possible. But I really wanted to tap into the possibilities of this digital economy. And because I knew there was something with it. I mean, heck, if Steve Jobs says, that's where the business is going, let's ride that wave. I'm an early adopter. I'm looking always at new things. So I'm like, I'm going to figure this thing out. So I found a company that was based on personal development. Now, it's interesting, because I had no idea, or nor did I understand any business models, right? These online business models. I had no idea. People were asking me, are you part of an MLM? I didn't even know what that meant. All I knew is that this company offered really powerful personal development programs that were starting to change my life, that if I can share them with someone else, I could make a commission. To me, that was a direct sale. I was in sales. That made so much sense to me. And so I fully invested into this company. I invested into the company like I owned stock in that company, so that I could become a reseller. And that's the way I looked at the industry. And our life changed completely. Brian had no idea, nor did he really want to have any part of it. He's an engineer. He's got his corporate car, corporate card, and life was simple and easy. And here I am hustling around trying to figure out this internet, marketing, and learning from Perry Marshall, who I just got to meet in Dubai, one of my gurus of marketing. And I was putting a credit card on my knee, placing Google AdWords, trying to figure out ways to market ourselves and market this business that I was now selling about personal development. And Brian thought I was insane. I was making crazy phone calls, and he's like, what the heck is wrong with you? But the mindset was shifting already, and although you were doubting, you were like, why is she doing this?
Yeah. You might have jumped on?
No, that's the pause. There's like natural flows when you're doing shows or speaking on stage with people. Brian's just never picked up those natural pauses yet, and we've been speaking on stage for over like 10 years together.
Well, as you know, I cannot multitask, and I was trying to send out the link that we're live, and I was waiting for the pause, and you paused a little bit before I thought. So I apologize for that. But no, it's here's what happened. When Rhonda made that decision, I thought she was crazy. I thought she was, because I was an engineer making this, making good money. I didn't really understand what she was doing. When she told me that she wanted to have a family, not put our kids through daycare, our future kids in daycare, I thought it was so un-American. And why do that? Because we can make six figures. We're investing in real estate. We're living the typical American dream. And the point was when she looked at me, and she said that she wants to have a kid, not put her in daycare. It was then like, I don't care if I'm my boss's boss's boss. It's not going to happen. I said, why don't you find something you can work from home? And she said, done. And when you were making those crazy phone calls, I go, what are you doing with that master's degree? Why are you doing that? And then she was showing me, and this is to backtrack on what you said before about the view from a husband, the spouse. She was doing the personal development. She was growing her mind. She goes, well, why don't you just listen to this, or read this? And I bucked it. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I did see her growing, and here's the thing. It's a very interesting point, because I saw her growing, but it wasn't until when I actually saw dollar signs to where I was a believer. Then it hit me even double hard, because when she had a $37,000 a month, I was like, holy cow, are you kidding me? And then at the same time, I went, she's doing this online, and she's growing as a human being. And I knew that I was flatlining. I was out of the, I was not growing at all. And it hit me right then. I said, if I don't come on board, she's going off on her own. That's it. I was like, there's going to be a separation. And heck, if you're able to do that, I'm on board. And one of the things that before I jumped on was I said I wanted to surpass both of our incomes before I retire. And it took a while. It took, not much longer. Basically from that, it was about another 6 to 8 months, and then I quit my job. But that was a turning point. Not only it turned from, okay, we're making money, but one of the main ingredients was that personal development and the mindset. And that's one of the things that, we have both grown individually, right? And then we're able to communicate on that, and then that's part of Hanalei's life. And people ask, oh, so you obviously homeschool your children. No, we teach her enough as it is, in the morning and at night. It's like she likes to go to school, but we give her that education. It's most of her teachers of where we have, or what we listen to, like Wayne Dyer, etc. That's what she listens to, and she now puts the pieces of the puzzle together. Like when she's listening to these audiobooks, she goes, that's what you've been teaching. It's actually, you learned it from this other guy. I'm like, yeah, we want to be like the smart people, but yeah, we've been learning it from someone else. So I'm going to turn it back over to you. That's my pause.
This call is going to interview me, but it always ends up flipping the switch, as you guys know. The intentions always start, but it always changes. That's just the nature. But and so this is really, personal development, guys, obviously has taken on such a powerful stance for us, and it's not lip service, and this is something that is important for everyone to hear. There's a lot of noise, right? There's a lot of noise on the internet. If you're on Facebook, you are probably watching thousands of people constantly talking about, look at my success, look what I've done, look at the amount of money I've made, join me, do this, and that's not the way we've ever marketed. If you've ever noticed, that's just not how we've marketed. That's not what I teach, how to maintain a lasting legacy and how to create and build followers that want to follow you for life. And I feel that, and I believe that the more people that get connected to really what their values are and what their family believes in, the more you will gain business. Marketing is great, and I think everyone needs to know how you market yourself is by sharing your values and what you're all about. Traffic is how you get people in front of your offers, right? That's how you get people to buy from you. But I tell you what, I never really had to go so heavily on the marketing side. I stayed very consistent. We've always stayed very consistent with our values and what's true to us to engage in an audience. And for those of you guys that are watching, certainly feel free to write in the comment section below. You have to actually reload this page, and on the bottom right, it'll say what are our newest comments. That you can see the newest comments. But I want to ask how you actually found us, how you've been connected. Why do you buy from people? Why do you join them to either work with them as a coach, or why do you go to events? Typically, it's because of the values that they share. And our family holds very strong values. In fact, there has been a lot of incredible people that have come through our life and into our business. And one thing that I know we can be very proud of is that we've never changed our value structure. We've never been that person that says, hey, look at us, we make all this money, join us. Because I really feel that that is just an opposite way to attract good quality people into your lives and into your business. And
do you mind if I jump in? Really? Well, I guess I just did anyway.
Obviously, how could I? We call this, okay, by the way, you guys gotta learn this. We call this stick the stick in the fan. That's what we call it. So when somebody's on a roll, and we just go, if somebody does that, like Brian does it a lot, we'll just go, that's called sticking the stick in the fan. But there you go. As long as you draw attention to it, they know. He's not changed very often, but it gets a little mess. Sure, go ahead, stick.
But one of the things though, when you first started out, you were doing that because you were following the leader, you were following the tribe, and I remember you were doing that, putting the nice car, and we switched our tune because we were thinking that, okay, this person's doing it to be successful, so we got to follow that, and it wasn't feeling right, and it wasn't until we got our asses handed to us and we lost everything, we're like, whoa. That was a big wake-up call, and we then, like, well, why does it have to be that way? We don't have to do it that way. So we changed our tune. At first you were that way, like, check out me, but it switched, and we realized that there can be another way. It doesn't have to be the way that everybody's doing it. And when you're saying, like, the type of marketing, we don't do what the 98% do. We have a different style of doing it. And it doesn't have to be the flashing and doing this. You can have your own style. But we did start off that way.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. There was, you only know what you know. And I guess this is a really great lesson. If you are an online marketer or you are looking to develop something, I mean, certainly we've got a huge tribe of Freedom-Preneurs that are actually all over the world. We've got a Facebook group that's called the Freedom-Preneur group. But it's not even, a lot of people now that have taken on this idea of digital nomadic lifestyle or laptop lifestyle. We pretty much started to coin this phrase Freedom-Preneur a long time ago, and we were one of the first families that were traveling. So there's a lot of Freedom-Preneurs around the world, but the point is that you'll start to notice those that you are attracting and those that you follow are probably doing things different. And the lesson is that in the beginning, I was only following what others were doing. And it never felt right for me. People would ask, oh, what is it that you do? Well, I teach people how to live a great lifestyle. Or I teach people how to make money online. And it never felt good to me. And as I used my words, it just didn't come out right. So I want, when you are, sharing what your beliefs are, what your business is, if you are using languaging that's not congruent with who you are, you're going to feel icky. But when you get your message of what your values are, what you believe in, and what it is that you're doing, it comes across so powerful, and people connect with you. So in the beginning, I was doing what others were doing because I thought that's how you build a business. You impress someone, right, by telling them, how much money you make. But on the contrary, for me, that's opposite for me. Like, I look at my mentors, the people that I look at are my gurus, like Robert Kiyosaki. Tony Robbins, Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Branson, right, Oprah. These big, powerful brands and personalities that I follow, why would they ever talk about the kind of money they make? Now, there are big top gurus that do. They talk, look how flashy, look at the cars, look at the life, look at what I have, because that's who they're looking to attract. So when you're looking to attract someone to either work with you, be your client, buy a product or a service, or join you if you run an MLM or a network marketing business, you have to be who you are and not be who someone else is. And that was a lesson that I learned very early. And when I learned that lesson and realized that I was actually reversing what I was trying to do, is when I began to become successful, because my transparency, my authenticity was coming through in my communication, not only in my marketing, in my ads, in my video, and people started to connect. So I want all of you to listen to this. If you are doing that, find out what are your values. Write down, what are the values that I hold? Is it family? Is it freedom? fun, that's our Unstoppable Families values. Or is it money? Some of you are just totally motivated by money. In fact, I remember I had a client that was part of our tribe. I've known this person for quite some time in the online space, and this person, I'm not going to say it's a male or a female, they asked me what I thought about this page, and I said, well, look, this is my opinion. It's very money-driven. It's very in-your-face. Look at the kind of money I can help you make. Now, you're making claims that you're going to help someone make all this money if they work with you. Can you fulfill on those claims? Well, yeah, there's been successes. I said, well, look, this is my philosophy. And my philosophy is be impeccable with my word, which is number 1 of the 5 agreements. If I'm impeccable with my word, that means I'm going to do what I say, and that what I say and what I do holds on to the truest value of what I live by. And so I shared to this person, can you, is that something you want to live by? Do you want to just attract people based on the money that you're making? And they weren't so sure. They said, well, this is what people are doing. This is what makes people successful. I said, well, then feel free to do what you want to do. And I've been watching this person for the last several months, and their marketing is so boisterous and yelled and noisy, and look at the money, and oh, look how much my marketing has made me. Now today I made another $1,000 today, and I stopped following that person because it doesn't make me feel good. So not to judge them, but that's what's working for them. It's what makes them feel good. But what I'm noticing is they're getting very short-lived following audiences. Those people, when they stop making money, guess what's going to happen? Those people are not going to follow them anymore because they're no longer talking about the money they're making, and that's the only type of person they were attracting. And that's the same thing that happens, I see day in, day out, with people that are building businesses. We have a very long-standing history, 11 years working online. Built the Freedom-Preneur Academy is one of our newest releases, and it became because I had something in my heart that I needed to get out, because we had been switched so frequently with so many different companies and network marketing owners and company owners that just changed their message out of nowhere. And so here we are building a value-based business, building our life, building a tribe of people that trusted in our values. And here I've got these other companies changing, and I'm having to put my blanket over that mess that they were building and still allow people to follow us. So we just decided to develop our own program where we've got a Freedom-Preneur program where we teach people how to truly build an online business that they love, an online business that is long-standing, value-based, and teach the fundamentals of how to do it. There are fundamentals in online marketing that you have to know. You have to understand that, yes, traffic is king. Sharing your story and your vision and building a brand that you can be proud of is number 1. Second is you've got to understand, what your relationship is with money. If your mindset isn't right, if you aren't willing and open and receiving to receive, right? If you don't feel that you deserve to earn money, then you'll never make it because people will never believe in you. And then, of course, you've got to learn sales funnels and the back-end process of emailing, and then you got to learn how to market. It's a lot of crazy stuff, but I felt obligated to develop something that could give people all of the key elements. Now, where they're going to take it is going to be up to them, but if we can equip people with the right kind of information, then I feel that we can help people become successful. And so that's the direction that we've taken, right? And now, of course, we've been hosting live events for many years, but the point that I'm looking to make here is that when you have something that you believe in, create it, develop it, build it. Don't look for the quick money-making schemes or the quick money-making opportunities because they're very short-lived. Oh, I just spilled my coffee on my lap. That's awesome. I don't have your cup with me, Swano, so let me give me a second to get a towel. I want you to take the reins on that one.
No, it was interesting. I'm gonna share a story that where this happened was when we wanted to create this. I remember we were in New Zealand, and this was our last trip before you have kids. And when I say that, is that we thought that you can't travel with kids, and obviously you can. We've been traveling with Hanalei for the last 8 years. And it was interesting that when we're talking about marketing, we're saying what if it would be great if people knew who you were, and we could show it coming across. This is where social media came from, right? And we're like, what if? And that happened. And ever since then, it hit us with one time where we're talking about the money, and we were at it was in a company of ours, and right when they created a leaderboard, I was flabbergasted by like people how much they were talking, and then you realize they actually weren't doing it. And it had us scratching, and we've had Freedom-Preneur probably in our minds for probably about like 8 years, almost since we started traveling. Like, what if there could be something different? And in developing these products to like really give people the possibility that you don't have to join an affiliate or a business opportunity, MLM. You can create it yourself, and that's really when Rhonda's talking about developing this Freedom-Preneur and what we're doing. We believe that obviously the internet's not going anywhere, right? And there's so many different ways that you can make money online. But what if you were to do it with something that was in alignment with your values, you were passionate about, and it's not just about a comp plan or something or this new product or this new gadget, but something that you're really passionate and proud of. And that's where we've come from over the years. It's been an evolution. It's not, and here's another thing. Working in the online world, since we've been in the online world for over 11 years, the online world, this is a marathon, and Gary Vee says this so much. This is not a sprint. And there's a lot of times like, oh, I just started and I haven't made any money. How long has it been? 3 months? 6 months? Are you kidding? Anything that's worthwhile is going to take some time, but you got to start somewhere. And I had this on a call yesterday that I was hosting just for our inner tribe members, and it's one of the things that Rhonda is known for, and she's very, very passionate about it, is the brand. And what a lot of people like to do is they want to know what the #1 marketing thing is out there. What is that tool? What is that shortcut that I can get? Gary Vee also says that. Those shortcuts, if you look at all the people that just have those shortcuts, those are short-lived. No pun intended on it. What they skip over who you are. Because if this business opportunity disappears, who's left? Are you that business opportunity? You got to create your brand. And you got to create a following. That's why we call it our Freedom-Preneur, we call it our tribe. They're not a team. They're not people. They are a tribe because we lead, right? And we bring people up, and they know 100% what they're going to get from us. We're not going to shift our tune. We're not going to go to the next biggest deal. Oh, this is hot right now. You can make a lot of money. I tell you what, we can make a lot more money if we did some other things.
Sure.
We absolutely, there's no doubt about it. But it's not in alignment with our values. And that's one of the things that, when you look your daughter in the eye, are you going to be proud of what you're doing? And I just went on a little rant right there, but it's...
This is really, really important. I believe everyone's unmuted. Let's make sure that you're muted there, Vivian. I believe that I'm going to mute you there because I'm getting some feedback. There we go. Excellent. And this is something extremely valuable. I'm looking at the live page. Welcome to those of you that are sharing. You do have to log in to make sure that you can comment on the page. But I'm seeing Margaret here and Steph Perez, and it's really incredible. Hey, Christy, really great to see you guys all here. Is that it's when people learn what their values really are, then you begin to shift the way that you do run your business, and then you are allowing yourself to build. And our mission, our goal, especially as a family here, we've shifted a lot. We've grown up. We went from this unstoppable family traveling around the world. Yay, look at us, it's awesome. And we were running network marketing companies. We were doing quite well. And now I'm on such a mission to give better advice, to teach people how to really truly build a business online that they love that's theirs. You know, I do focus on branding because I know that if you get who you are, what you believe in, you identify who you can connect with, you can sell anything. Everyone skips over and jumps into marketing. And I tell you what, the marketing stuff is so important. But if you don't get who you are right now, how you represent yourself, then you're just copying people's stuff, or you're swiping things, or you know, you're just trying to make a sale. It's not going to happen for you. And so our mission is to inspire others to become freedompreneurs, to develop a platform for themselves that they can stand on so you can have freedom in travel. You know, our life is a sunshine and roses life, but we work our tails off. We work hard. And I think people get a misconception when they're watching online, right, Steph, this noise, oh, look at all this, my team has made all this money, look what we've done, is that they join and they give their life savings to people on a promise that they're going to have the same results. I don't know the kind of results that you are going to have in your life because I don't know your work ethic. But I do know this, I am responsible for what I say and for what I do, not for what you understand or what action you take. So if you are following mentors, or you want to, you know, or you're looking to be part of something that you can not only grow with but develop yourself with, is you want to align with the right people. And we've been going back to these 5 agreements all the time. And if you haven't read this book, The 5 Agreements, get it today because it will shift your thinking. It'll help you decide, wow, you know, what mentors do I want to work with? You know, if you want to join our tribe, you're very willing and open. We're open to inviting you into our tribe Facebook group. It's an open group. The 5 agreements, there you go. We've been all listening to it. In fact, I want to make sure we should put our Facebook group on the right-hand side of this page. I forgot I didn't do that. But you'll be able to go into that Facebook group and just, you know, people just share what's going on with them. They're building their own businesses. They're leveraging our Freedom-Preneur Academy. You know, they're leveraging the Share the Love program we have. But what we all stand for is responsibility, right? So here's the 5 agreements I'm going to share with you all. We're going to end this call in about 10 minutes. We do have a quiz for any of you that are here. If you do know how long Brian, myself, and Hanalei, the Unstoppable family, has been traveling around the world, post it in the comments below. You'll win a Freedom-Preneur shirt. And also you're able to get our newest ebook, the digital lifestyle for the Freedom Lifestyle Formula. You'll be able to get access to all kinds of training that we offer. And it's really powerful. I recommend you going and doing that because it'll just totally change. We give away like, you know, 20, 30 hours worth of fundamentals that you can apply right now to any business that you're running, and we give that to you. You'll own that product. Feel free to go take a peep. But here's the 5 agreements, and I want everyone to listen to these. Be impeccable. If you know me at all, man, once I say something, I do it. If I tell people something's going to happen, I will stay up all night until I make it happen. I don't go to sleep until I tick the boxes. We call it don't letting the balls drop, right? We talk about this a lot in our family with Hanalei, with all of us. You tell someone you're going to do something, darn it, you better do it. And we didn't understand this. Even when I was growing up in my 20s, you so easily overlook, yeah, I'll be there, but you just don't show up. You're breaking a promise. You're breaking your word. See, if you start doing this early on with your having children or in business, you're breaking the word to yourself, you're breaking the word to your family, and people just don't trust you without even realizing subconsciously they're not trusting you. I want people to trust me. I want people to, when I'm not around, to remember who I am and to say that I stick to my word, right? So we are impeccable with our word. Second is we don't take things personally. You got to get thick-skinned in becoming an entrepreneur, even including your family members, your friends. They might not get your mindset. Heck, we've got best friends that we don't talk to anymore because they think that we're still on this joke of traveling around the world and raising our daughter, not putting her in daycare. It's been, I'm not going to say how many years because that's the trick. That's the quiz.
I said it earlier, but you got to get, I said it earlier, but you got to get the date. Too.
Well, I don't know if the
closest
date.
One.
I mean, not everyone knows our dates, but they still don't talk to us. You have to become, you can't take things personally. And that is, I think, also why I've been able to work big businesses, and typically I work them with men. I don't always work with women, and recently I've really stretched into connecting with more amazing change-making women, because usually women take things personally. And that's just nature. And of course men do as well, but I've always kind of leaned towards more working with men a lot, because I just am like, I don't take this. I didn't take this personally. You know, like it's like dudes, you know, or they get mad at each other and they're bros a minute later. That's kind of how I am, because I realize that everything that people say is only their perceptions on a situation. They're typically either expressing fear, they're expressing their insecurities, or they're just trying to get to you. So I don't care what you're thinking. Your opinions are none of my business, and I just don't take it personally, because if I'm impeccable with my word, whatever you say is not real. It's their reality. I know I don't break what I am and what I do. And so this is something, guys, so powerful in life and in business that can take you everywhere. Impeccable with your word. You don't take things personally, and you just always do your best. We share this with my daughter, Hanalei. She's developing into a beautiful young contributor to the world. She's not a young lady. She's not a little girl. She's a contributor to the world, because she does her best every day. You don't judge people for them not, you know, being incredible. If they're their best today and you're your best today, that's all you can ask. I go to yoga, and in yoga they say, you know, today is who you are today. Know that, you know, don't give yourself a hard time if, you know, you're not able to go into a full lotus today, or maybe your stretching is not as good or as deep as it was yesterday. But as long as you know you're doing your best today, that's all we can ask for and all we can thrive to be. 5 is be skeptical while learning to listen. Now this one is this is the 5th. Hi, sweetie pie. How are you?
Good.
I thought you want to say this. She's doing. What were you? She was working.
What were you doing, Hanalei?
She was doing some Instagram.
I was looking at my friends' posts and stuff.
Okay.
Mom was talking about you, but I'm gonna let Mom. But I wanted to bring you in here so you can listen, because Mom was talking about you.
I was just talking about the 5 agreements and how we just do our best every day, right, Hanalei?
Yeah.
That's all we can ask, right? We can't be the best at everything, but we can just do our best every day. Yeah.
What time does the horse riding?
Horse riding. We'll get to horse riding after.
We're not doing horse riding today. She sent me a message, babe. Family interactions on a hangout. But Hanalei's been very. Hey, Hanalei, you want to share with anyone really quick, like what you've been up to, like how you are just been really passionate about sharing some things and what you're doing? You want to share a bit of that?
Well, I've been starting to get more into the online world, and I made this chart because I want to keep on doing it. But sometimes I maybe will scroll to YouTube for like a couple of minutes, and then that minute's become into like an hour. So I want to try making I made a chart to help me stay on my way whenever I do like a post. So I have Facebook for the first one, YouTube, and then I have Instagram and Eero, and I just scroll down, and I'm like, okay, today I do Facebook Live, or maybe I don't do Facebook Live today, and I do a post of Eero, which is where you put your art. So,
hey, would you share with everyone here, because you learned something from Gary Vee that really like inspired me to do something different. What did Gary Vee tell you to do, and now what you're doing based on your passion?
He said, look at some of these little online things, like maybe it's like an app or a website, like the small ones that are really good quality and like not too many people are on it, and like more people are coming on. So you find that app or website or whatever, and you go on it, make an account or something, and then you start posting every day, one post or more, and then you become the big person in that thing. And then when it becomes the humongous app or or whatever you call it, you will be like big league, and everybody will be like, how do you do this, and how did you get this inspiration? Oh yeah, you can go over to my YouTube channel to learn how to do this. And then if they want to find out deeper into it, oh yeah, you can go on to my Facebook page and learn how I thought of this, and maybe it can inspire you, and then you become the big league in social media everywhere. And then you're like,
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And so, Hanalei, would you mind sharing with everyone, what is it that we're talking a lot about our values, like what we believe in, right? Our family talks about that a lot. What is it? What are the passions that you really have? Because social media is cool to do, but why do you think that you're doing it? What is that meaning for someone else?
I want to inspire people. I want to teach people how to do art. I love being a teacher I love being around like little kids and like teaching them how to do stuff. That's one thing that I love to do. And I just like posting what I love to do. And I post sometimes my horse riding. Well, Dad does it a lot because he's on it, or you. And I've been starting to get into gymnastics and stuff, and I'm going to post some more of that. And so I just want to help people teach people how to do stuff, and maybe they become a teacher and stuff. That's what I do.
Do you think that you live a different life than most kids? Because people ask that question to us all the time. They're like, okay, this kid's been traveling, she's been 1 year old. How does she do it? What do you think about it? Is it normal?
The question was how I do it, how I stay calm and stuff. Well, during the traveling, how we mostly travel all together, it's a three-legged table. And so mostly we all have to be on our game. So it's kind of like pack your bags, make sure you get that. Check around the house, everybody, before we leave. And we'll always like give stuff away to like friends or family. And then we'll have like these bags where we'll just be like, okay, here's yours, here's yours, here's yours. Let's get them on. We gotta go to this part. Everybody stay calm. We have to get on there in 10 minutes, so we'll just go.
So you got to be flexible.
Yeah. You gotta be able to do stuff. Like, okay.
Throwing bags around. You've been doing that since you've been like 3.
I've been like with my little bags. I've been like just running to the other ports and stuff. And like, okay, we leave in 5 hours. Pack, pack, pack. And then here, you can keep it. Let's just go.
So what do you think about transitioning? People ask how Hanalei does with changing different countries and changing different things. How do you get through that?
Well, I mostly, I think our family evolved to be able to adapt to new places and adapt to new things what's the word again? Like very quickly.
Adaptable?
Yeah, adaptable. And like if we're in a cold area, we've been there before, so we can just adapt to it and like just like how do you say it? I'm not really sure how to say it.
You can make a transition. Yeah, I think Mom she's also asking that just the temperature wise, but being able to go to different schools and.
Yeah, it's hard for me to sometimes make friends, but sometimes on the first day at my school here, the first time I made like 2 friends in like 5 minutes.
Nice.
That was the funny part because I never really do that.
Did you adapt?
Yep. And I have to adapt to like the new teachers. I have to adapt to the new cultures. And I think the first time when I learned about the culture, I'm like, what? This is so weird.
Yeah, because I remember like when we moved around for that. You move around like every year now. You've been going to a different school, sticking around for maybe a year, and then we change. You remember when we were going to leave Panama and you were kind of sad to leave because you have so many great friends there? But do you remember though why we said that it's a good move for us to make, and how did that feel for you when you had to make that change? Do Do you remember why we said it's a good idea to make that move?
I do. I remember when you're like, if we stay here too long, we'll get stuck to it and we'll never leave like the United States. Like all our family is stuck to that place. It's like you don't want to move because it's such a great place, and like you mostly get stuck to that place and you'll just stay there forever. So you can't be there too long or too short. Because it's nice to have like a mini vacation somewhere, but like we have to move like every year, otherwise we get stuck to that place and never move again.
Yeah. More like we're growing as human beings, right? Mm-hmm. Advancing in it. So nice. So yeah. Were you gonna keep on going on the four agreement?
Yeah. I'll keep going. Thank you, Hanalei. I was just trying to make sure that the page was loading. I just added the Facebook group. People were asking. I want to make sure that the page is loading, because I'm not seeing the live feed on that page anymore. So I wanted to make sure that that's accurate. It's still working. The live feed looked like it moved. But thanks, Hanalei. You're super inspirational. We've got people on the show going, "Wow, how old is she?" Hanalei's 9.
Yes, I'm 9.
What is the big passion that you've been doing on your Facebook Lives? Artwork.
And I think I may start setting a date for every Facebook Live. Maybe on like Mondays, Fridays, and Wednesdays.
Kind of like what we're doing with the Freedom-Preneur show every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. New York Eastern Standard Time, so people know when to come.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do it on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Very cool.
Maybe not Fridays because I'm on Friday, but we'll see. We'll see how everything works out. Probably Mondays and Wednesdays. Thank you.
Awesome. And that's, this is something too that, Mommy works with a lot of adults that are looking to work online and to build their brands. And the best way that we build our brand is, how do we do that, Hanalei? What's just the best way? And it might be a trick question. What do you think is the best way to get people to know about your brand?
Well, put out content, like how you guys were teaching me. I've watched these YouTubers, and I'm like, how do they do that? They're so famous, and they're like now doing vlogs and stuff, and like it gets 1 million hits in like 5 hours, and like how do they do that? And so you guys told me that like you have to put out content every day until like you get so famous that like everybody knows you, that they'll be like pushing the replays every day because they love it so much, and then you can just relax and like maybe put out once a week.
I'd like to share with you guys now is
the gap
that I figured out how to fill when I first got started on it.
There's a video playing. I want to make sure.
Maintain not only who we are throughout our whole 9.5 years. No one ever knew that the company
Something's going on with our live feed. It's been removed off the page, it looks like.
They never knew. Because
Ryan, are you playing a page?
It's yours.
And how I started to realize...
Okay. There we go, yeah. I don't know why that video's playing. Hopefully you guys can still see us live. I hope. You should be able to. Yeah? Make sure that, I just want to make sure that they can all see us live. Comment in the comments below if you can, because it looks like that video is reloading. But anyways, Hanalei, thank you so much for being there, because you're right. It's about content. It's about constant, consistent content. That's how people follow your brand.
Yeah, and I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Every day I still check if you put out a new video, and I'm putting out a video as much as I can.
Well, that's amazing.
Do you want to know one thing that was really interesting, Mom? I want to give a stat to everybody. So Hanalei's, we went to do a Facebook Live, and we got done, and she goes, "How was that?" I go, "That was awesome." She goes, "Look I had 2 viewers." She goes, "Who were they?" I go, "You and me."
That's awesome. But now, dude, you've been getting like thousands.
Okay, so
no, but yesterday I got like 20.
No,
wait, no,
you had
10.
You had 800 in the first hour.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. When I said to Hanalei, I said, you know what? We all got to start out somewhere, right? And we got to be very persistent. But this call the live that we did was just me and you. And what's going to be funny is that probably in a few years from now, you're going to be doing a TED Talk somewhere, and you're going to be inspiring other people.
I remember when we talked about the faith we talked about when I was like when I'm like 30 years old. I'm like,
it's
yeah.
probably, but the thing is like, hey, I started somewhere, and the first viewers was me and Dad, but then it grew to 5, 10, 20.
30.
Now you have over 1,000 on yours from just yesterday. So we all gotta start somewhere. You got to be persistent and consistent, and you're inspiring me, little girlfriend, because I think you're gonna blow up much bigger than Mom and Dad.
I already blew up Mom yesterday. She did a video, and I just towned her with like thousands.
Yes, we have a little competition in our family. Who goes live? Whose pages inspire more people? Well, I think you're going to be the family's rock star anyways. In fact, you were a rock star just last weekend, singing on stage, got to be on stage with the beautiful girls.
Yeah.
Totally dug that. Well, thank you guys, Hanalei. I missed both of these two so much, as you can tell. Our family, here we are in our own show, just so we can hang out and chat with each other. But
it's just you and us.
No, there's people on here that are commenting. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, it's just you and us talking right now.
Yeah.
I know, which is funny, right?
Private chat right now.
Everyone's watching our family's chat. But this is inspiring because I know, Hanalei, a lot of people have children and they want to know, if they can do it. And, we want to invite you to join our tribe. On the right-hand side, I did put join our Facebook group. You can join inside there. You can learn. Join our academy. You're actually
Yeah, I joined the academy.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. So you joined the academy too. See, Hanalei, she's got to be part of it. She's got to learn from it.
Well, we had the conversation, Mom. We had the conversation that, okay, instead of you just watching YouTube links, you're going to be learning from Mom. She goes, well, how do I do this? I said, Mom has created the wheel. So I pulled up the academy. I subscribed her to the academy. I actually granted.
I'd like to share with you guys
I actually granted
now
her access to it.
The gap that I figured out how to fill when I first got started.
I'm not sure if that is you or me.
And it helped. It's got to be you, dude. There we go. That's how we learn, right? And so I definitely want to invite everyone to join us. There's two different links on this page. One is you can join the Facebook group. The other is you can get our blueprint. That's actually one of the best ways because it allows you to kind of walk through this process. That's this Kickstarter Academy. You guys can own that product. Brian will give you a call as well because what we believe in guiding people in the right direction. And if something's right for you, it's right. If it's not, it's not. And we're going to be the first to tell you because, again, we're impeccable with our word. We don't take things personally. We don't make assumptions about anything. And we always do our best. And we're skeptical while we're listening because we believe that even though we hear things, not everything is true what we hear. So be skeptical. Those are the 5 values that our family follows. And we want to make sure that we can help you get and make the best decisions for you. If it means leveraging our platform and growing with our tribe, great. We'd love to have you there. If it doesn't, we'll tell you. We're going to say, you know what, I don't think this is good for you, and maybe you're not ready. But either way, we want to be and create and be a great space. The family, the traveling family, the unstoppable family that's got integrity, that cares for people, and wants to help you grow and to learn the fundamentals of what it takes to build a business online. I call it creating sexy brands and turning them into profit-making machines. That's something that I'm passionate about, and taking your brand and bringing it to the world. We've got a lot of different ways and platforms to do that. But you guys can join us inside there. And we are hosting an event in Bali. It's a private event. It's only for our Freedom-Preneur tribe and for those that are part of our academy and our Business in a Box program. But, of course, if you join and you decide you want to come, you'd be welcome with open arms. So thank you guys for being here. I hear our dogs barking. I miss that Buttercup and Oreo out there.
Hi.
Butters is looking at.
I got to make sure the dogs aren't eating the cat right now.
Ah, they go after our crazy cat. Well, everyone, honey, thank you for, bringing me on to this show today. It was so great to be here.
Well, it's like you're back in your own little studio.
I know, right?
I dressed up for this moment,
I can't even believe it.
I gotta share. I am wearing my board shorts underneath. Because right after this, I'm going surfing with Hanalei, and we take the dogs up. This has been our little routine. Because if you guys don't know, you guys probably wouldn't know. This is a holiday week, so Hanalei has been out of school. So that is part of our little routine that we've been doing. So.
We got the dogs in the room.
Whoa! All right. All right, Hanalei, silly girl. Hey, but you know what? That's the thing. That's how it works. We work and live in our house. So anyways, guys, feel free to join us. Our tribe is open and ready to have you join us. If you do click over there, we'll approve you today. Go in there and welcome yourself. Say what you're all about, because it's really about you. It's a personal responsibility group. If you've got questions, if you've got things you want to share or passions you want to share, or you have something that you need some education or answers on, we have thousands of people inside of there to help teach and grow. And it's not a pitch fest. If you get in there, you'll be booted right away if you're trying to pitch what you offer. It's a place to learn, to grow, and be part of a great group of people. And then, of course, you can join us in our academy. I want to invite you to do that, because by joining, you will be called by Brian, so we can guide you along the way. It's worth spending $7 to get that ebook and getting connected. There's our little Oreo rescue pup. Part of our family values is also, you know, helping others, giving back, rescuing puppies. Oreo, hi, Oreo, hi. Oh my goodness, I miss you, little fart face. So anyways, everyone, have a great one. I look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. And ask us any questions, post some things below. Get inside that group and register and get that Kickstarter today, guys. You'll be happy that you did. Have a great one, everyone, and be unstoppable! Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.